Welcome to Hire Power, the show where we cut through the noise and get real about hiring. I'm Kim Frost, founder of Frost Connections, and after 25 plus years in the search industry, I've seen what works and what absolutely doesn't. If you're a founder, CEO, VP, or HR leader who's tired of bad hires and ready to build a team that actually fits your culture and vision, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Let me say something a little unexpected. Leaders who use humor have a competitive edge. And no, I don't mean you turn into a stand-up comic. I'm saying humor is a trust builder. It's one of the fastest ways to connect with your team, break down walls, and show you're human. Harvard Business Review just did a podcast on this exact topic, and it was called The Kinds of Humor That Help Leaders Build Trust. And it reminded me of what I've seen with my own clients over and over again. Welcome back to Hire Power. In this episode, we're going to talk about using humor to your advantage and building trust as a leader. Did you know that 97% of employees say it's important for leaders to have a sense of humor because it creates a better team climate? That's pretty significant. And a Deloitte-based report shows that workplaces with levity experience 20% lower turnover. Humor isn't fluff, it's a retention strategy. And happier teams, those that laugh, smile, and feel connected, they're up to 12% more productive. Those are all some significant statistics. But here's the truth. Humor builds trust faster than any leadership book, title, or motivational speech ever will. Because trust doesn't come from the corner office or your fancy LinkedIn headline. It comes from connection. And humor is connection in action. Even something as small as a smile can be so disarming. It tells people, I see you, I'm approachable, you're safe with me. So going back to the Harvard Business Review podcast that I was talking about, Adam Christing shared what he calls the 5 laugh languages. I love this because it proves anyone can use humor. You just have to find your lane. So the first one is surprise. Do the unexpected. It cuts through tension in seconds. Second, teasing, kind of poking around, especially if it's self-deprecating. Leaders who can laugh at themselves gain credit instantly. However, you don't want to over-index it on this one, because if you're always in that self-deprecating mode, or if you're always teasing, it can become a little tiring quickly, and it's easy to lose people. Third one, in-jokes. And by this, I mean a shared team humor. Think about those inside references only your team would get. The stuff that bonds people like nothing else. Fourth, wordplay. If you're naturally quick or witty, this can land beautifully. A clever phrase can lighten a room. And lastly, amplify. Take something ordinary, exaggerate it just enough to make it funny and memorable. So here's the sciencey part of this. Humor actually releases endorphins, lowers stress, and reduces conflict. It also signals to your team, as I mentioned earlier, I'm approachable, I'm safe. Most leaders don't realize how powerful the simple things are. A laugh, a grin, a shared joke, even just walking into a room with a smile. Those little moments reset the energy of a team. One of my college professors used to say there's a strong correlation between humor and intelligence, and I've never forgotten that. Think about the smartest people you've worked with. They're usually quick, sharp, and yes, funny. And that's not an accident. Humor requires timing, awareness, and connections, all traits of a great leader. I can't count how many candidates I've worked with who tell me, I take less money to work for a leader who makes the workplace fun. Think about that. Humor isn't just nice, it's retention. Now, let's draw some boundaries, okay? There are things humor should never touch, and I call these the 3 Ps. Politics, profanity, prejudice. Get those out of your humor toolkit. You'll lose respect, and worse, you'll lose trust. And lastly, don't fake it. People can smell forced humor a mile away. If jokes aren't your thing, don't force them. Maybe your humor style is just being lighthearted when something goes wrong. That's still humor, and it works. It took me a while for my humor to come up in a professional setting. What helped me? Being myself while being appropriate. Get comfortable with your wit. So another story I heard that I really love was about Vineet Nayar, a CEO who danced in public, even admitting he's a terrible dancer. But you know what? Employees loved it. Why? Because he was vulnerable. That moment said, I don't take myself too seriously. This reminds me of the Seinfeld episode, right? It's classic. It's where Elaine's dancing at work. Wasn't that one of the most popular episodes? And how many people started dancing like that at work? And it brought tears to many's eyes. And I mean tears in a good way. Another company spoofed The Tonight Show with their executives playing host and guests. Can you imagine the connection that created? That's humor as well as culture building. I'll add one of my own experiences. I worked with a leader who kicked off every Monday morning meeting with something completely off the wall, a random fact, a silly story from the weekend, or even a bad pun. The result? The team actually looked forward to these Monday meetings. Think about that. He flipped the most dreaded day of the week with humor. Something all it took was him walking in, smiling, and setting that tone. When I work with executives, we talk a lot about transparency, truth-telling, and culture. Humor fits right in. Leaders who use humor well don't just get better results, they build environments where people want to stay. And if you listen to me for more than 5 minutes, you know culture is the number one reason people either stay or leave. So if you think humor is optional, think again. It's not about being funny, it's about being real. And yes, sometimes it's about remembering how powerful a simple smile can be. Happier teams, those who laugh, smile, and feel connected, those are your productive, dedicated teams. So here's my challenge to you. Find your humor style. Are you the poke fun at yourself leader? The surprise them leader? Maybe you're all about the inside jokes. Whatever it is, play into it. Because humor isn't fluff. Humor is strategy. Humor is trust. And as one of my college professors used to say, it's also a sign of intelligence. I'll leave you with this. Leaders who can laugh at themselves, laugh with their teams, and laugh through the ups and downs, those are the leaders that people follow. I'm Kim Frost, and this is Higher Power, truth with compassion, and yes, with a smile. That's it for this episode of Higher Power. If you're ready to hire smarter, connect with me at frostconnections.com or at LinkedIn at Kim Frost. And if you've got something to say about today's episode, follow the show and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, hire smart, lead better, and remember, how you hire is who you become. See you next week. No fluff, just better hires.